Hello. It has been a hot minute, and it's been a hot minute. Uh, come on. Um, I wanted to do. Whoops. Do that. Cool. I wanted to just do a little thing because I've been away for a while. Um, I wanted to just do a little thing, talk about some stuff that that I've been seeing or stuff that I've stuff that's been going on and whatnot. Um, so that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna basically just chill out, talk a little bit, play some bullshit while I talk and whatnot. Basically just gonna. I've been away, so I'm gonna some stuff I want to need to take care of on my computer. We're gonna go through and do all of that. Um, 1 second. Um, so that's pretty much what I'm gonna be doing for this. So I went and saw. We're gonna start off. We're gonna go kind of in order with the title, really. Um, First off, I saw Thor: Love and Thunder yesterday. I saw it a day early, which was pretty cool. Um, it was pretty good. I thought it was funny. There was a lot of good. There was some pretty good jokes. Um, some all right jokes. Some kind of like ups and downs, like any movie really would and should have. Um, So I'd say I think it had more good jokes than anything, honestly. Um I um there was some stuff. I'm going to kind of start off with like kind of like not spoilery stuff, not spoiler stuff. Yeah, I'm going to start off with like non-spoiler stuff and then kind of move more into more more spoilerish stuff. Um Fuck, I forgot how the fuck do I uninstall. Um, so there's not much to really talk about for non-spoiler. I mean, you know, Chris Hemsworth, or yeah, Chris Hemsworth. You know, great. What's her name? Natalie Portman or whatever that plays Jane Foster. She was good too. She did all right. Um, Nothing like she was all right. Her acting was good. It's just I feel like what they did was kind of dumb, kind of boring. Um, I feel like they severely under. I guess I feel like there should have been more. Maybe like because I feel like like in Multiverse of Madness, the after credit scenes in that one weren't very relevant, especially the second one. I feel like instead of that second one, they should have. I feel like over the past couple of movies and even like at the end of some of the TV shows, they should be doing multiple after credits things and to like kind of tease that these characters are coming back and whatnot. But that didn't happen. So that was kind of like, it's like, you know, why not just tease it a little bit so that way we can kind of it would have been because it's just like this new Thor movie starts up, and of course we all knew that she was coming back because of the trailers, but it's just like she just shows up. She shows up, but there's been nothing before this in like hinting at any of this. Of course, it's the Mighty Thor. It's borrowing a lot from the Mighty Thor um, storyline. So it's borrowing a lot from the Mighty Thor storyline. So of course, she has the cancer, but it was just like, why? Where did this come from? It wasn't really, as far as I can remember, it wasn't really hinted at prior that she had any sort of cancer. It just kind of, it's just kind of a thing. It's like, oh yeah, but she's got cancer, and then like that's where it kind of like stops. There's really not much else, which kind of is a little disappointing, I guess, or a little lame. It's like, why not? Why couldn't there have been more hinting at it or preparing us for her to come back? It didn't seem like there was a lot of that. Um, the girl who plays Valkyrie did good. I need to rewatch Ragnarok because I could have swore she sounded way different in Ragnarok. Like I feel like her accent and stuff was different, like almost like it was an entirely different person. So I easily can just be wrong about that. I just would need to look into that, look it up and whatnot. Um, yeah, I need to like look into that. So that was that. I but yeah, I think that everyone did pretty good. Korg, that was cool. I need to rewatch Ragnarok for a couple reasons. Also, because I thought in Ragnarok, Korg says something about his mother's boyfriend or something like that in that. But in this movie, he basically says that all um, Cronins, which I believe are his species, they're all guys. Um, so that's something I don't know. I might just be misremembering things, so I need to look into that. Um, I need to look into that. Yeah, I need to look into that. Um I need to look into that. I need to and whatnot. That's There's really not much to talk about outside of spoilers. So I'm gonna go ahead and now I'm gonna get into spoiler stuff. Um, I um I so my main issue, I liked the film. I thought it was pretty good. I have a couple issues with the film and something. Then my first issue that I want to get into is the popcorn bucket, the like special popcorn bucket that is about double the price of the Doctor Strange popcorn bucket, because I believe yep, I have my whenever me and my fiance went see Multiverse of Madness, she bought one for both of us, the Doctor Strange popcorn bucket that folds up and stores real easily. It looks really cool when it's all folded up. It was like $25 or something like that, and it's a good quality. It's a good plastic. You know, it's a good quality. It's a good thing. I already picked up the Thor one because, but it's definitely it's I remember seeing in a video that the hammer was supposed to be able to come off of the rock that it sits on. Pull up. Let me pull up the thing. Thor popcorn bucket images. Bum bum bum. Even that shit looks dope as fuck. But yeah, it's probably the best picture I'll be able to find. So here's the here's the popcorn bucket. It looks pretty good. The rock is plastic, but it doesn't really a thing. The the actual hammer part, the actual part where the popcorn is held, is more of like a tin metal, like a plastic tin material, which is good. It's a decent quality. The handle is plastic, and it's cheap fucking plastic. Mine out before I even put mine together, because I didn't get it with the popcorn in it. I just got it itself because I don't really eat popcorn, so I was like, I don't need the popcorn. But the handle itself came out of the packaging already like rattling, like something was loose, something got broken loose on the inside of it already, and it's super cheap, super flimsy. It's terrible. And I remember seeing in videos that the hammer was supposed to come off of the rock. It doesn't come off the rock. Some other guy posted a video or whatever saying that he broke his trying to take it off, even though if you open it and look, you can tell that it's not going to come off. It's very clear. So that was kind of his own fault. And it's almost double the fucking price after taxes. It cost me $43.97. Almost $50 for what I would call it's more intricate than the Doctor Strange one, but I'd say it's lower quality hands down. Lower quality hands down for something that should be higher quality and whatnot. And you should be able to take it off the fucking rock. You should be able to take it off the fucking rock. The fact that you can't take it off the rock is so stupid. It's so lame. That's an issue about the for Thor: Love and Thunder, but not about the movie. That's the issue. My main issue with the movie itself, was that I felt like it had the same issue that my main issue with the film was the same issue that I had with um, Multiverse of Madness, which was the the thing that seemed to be the most advertised plot point or whatever about the film seemed to not really happen or affect the film very much. So I want to hold it. I want to hold the mic. I want to hold the mic. I'm gonna need to do something about this whenever I get that new mic stand or something. Um, but the my issue, so like the whole thing is Thor: Love and Thunder, and a lot of the advertising and whatnot showed a lot of like other gods, like, oh, they're gonna go to this place where there's all these other gods. There's gonna be Zeus and all this stuff and whatnot. Just like how and they interact with Zeus. Like Zeus is the only other god that they actually really interact with at all in the film. There's like whatever Gore's people's god is. I do like how right at the beginning when he gets the Necro Sword really early on. Um and I like how I feel like what they purposely designed it, because from what I remember of Gore's original appearance is that he stumbles across a dark and like a black and a gold god fighting or whatever, and he ends up trying to help the dark god or whatever. I forget the exact specifics, but it seems to be similar like that because his people's god is like all clad in gold, and like the person who was wielding the Necro Sword before Gore gets it seems to just be pure black, pure dark. And whatnot, he gets the sword and kills that god and whatnot. And he's like, "Oh, all gods will die," because his god recognizes is like, "Oh, there will be more worshippers. I don't give a fuck about your people." Blah 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 blah. He so he gets mad that because his god was like that. He's like, "Oh, all gods are gonna die," which kind of seems a little flimsy to me because it's like it'd make more sense if he was like that he was gonna go around and like any guys that deemed unworthy he was going to kill. That would make more sense, even though it's like he doesn't need to kill all the gods. He wants to get to eternity to kill all the gods, and it's like it seems like it doesn't. It seems like until right there at the end of the film when Thor gives him the idea to just bring back his daughter. It's like that thought never came to mind until that very moment, which is kind of dumb because like you think that once you learn that you can go to eternity and whoever reaches eternity first, it's like you would think that once you learn that whoever reaches eternity first can get whatever wish they want, you think that would be his primary driving force, but it's apparently not. It's just he wants to kill all the gods. And I thought it was gonna be. It did kind of surprise me that like Gore did get to eternity and got to make it, and he got the wish. I was like, okay, Thor's gonna. Once you see like the whole cancer thing, that the hammer is the Mjolnir is just making Jane weaker. It's taking her life force or whatever. I assumed that they were gonna do. They beat Gore. They beat him right outside the gates to eternity or whatever. Thor goes in and makes his wish to bring back Jane or heal her or whatever. That's what I thought was gonna happen. So it did kind of surprise me whenever Gore actually does get in, and then I was like, oh, whenever he was like, oh, but if I bring my daughter back, I'm going to die because the Necro Sword's killing him. She'll have no one, and I was like, okay, so he's probably gonna change of. He sees how much Thor loves Jane. His wish is gonna be for Jane to be healed or whatever. So that way Thor doesn't have like go through what he doesn't have to go through what he went through or something like that. But no, he brings back his daughter, and then he like dies immediately afterwards, and then Thor, and then Jane dies, and then Thor takes care of the daughter, born of eternity. So she seems to have eternity's powers, or something like that. She seems to have powers from eternity, so she's kind of a god now too, which is interesting. It's kind of funny. I thought it was interesting whenever she comes back and you see in the reflection of the water, she like looks like eternity, and then but then you see him, and then like the eternity statue, you don't see it again. So it's almost like, so is the child now eternity? It was that what his wish was, or was it something else? Like how did it all? How did that all? What exactly was his wish? Because he doesn't say anything. He just holds up his hand, and then the wish happens, or whatever. Now, to go a little bit deeper into Eternity, I did like how it was like super comic accurate with kind of like the design and the whole like it looked like, you know, Eternity looks in the comics. Now, I was a little sad that Eternity never speaks. It doesn't speak. They call it a being of like immense power or whatever the exact wording was, and it's like, but yet Eternity doesn't move or say or do anything. It's basically just looks like a it it's effectively just a statue, you know, if nothing else. It's just a glorified statue pretty much, which was a little disappointing. That was fairly disappointing personally. I was really hoping to see something uh, cool with Eternity. I was hoping because the Guardians are at the beginning of the movie, and in Guardians 2, there's that whole thing whenever Ego touches Peter's forehead and he like his eyes go like eternity, and he's like, I see everything, I see eternity or whatever. He and one, and there was that those there were those theories that were kind of confirmed to be somewhat accurate by James Gunn about um Peter's mom being eternity or something like that. Like there was some stuff with that. Um there was sadly no payoff with any of that, which kind of sucked. So that was that. I assume Taika probably talked with James Gunn before all of that. I would assume to make sure that like he doesn't fuck up anything that he was planning on doing with Guardians 3. Um, I thought it was weird how it seemed like Gore had. I don't know if those were like he drew it himself or there was some sort of prophecy or whatever of like how was Stormbreaker the key to the gates of eternity whenever Stormbreaker was only created a couple years ago. You know, like that doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know. I don't. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, unless it's just the Bifrost itself is the key. So then it's like so only like Asgardians or people with the power of the Bifrost could have gotten through. Or is that what it is? Or like I don't. It's not very well explained why Stormbreaker was the key. It just is. I did like the Shadow Realm. I loved that like visually. I thought it was really cool how everything was like black and white, but then Mighty Thor uses the hammer to like light up the area, and then she like on the hammer, and you can see like on her arm and like the her costume a little bit, the light from the hammer like returned the color, which I thought was really cool. So like whenever there was light, you could see the color that was there, but otherwise it's just black and white. I thought that was really cool visually. Um, I whenever Thor gives a bunch of the Asgardian kids that were kidnapped, when he gives them all like temporarily the powers of Thor, I thought that was really cool. You know, I was like, are they really gonna have these kids fight these shadow monster things? Um, but so that was a really cool little thing to see. I thought that in the comics, the Necro Sword was tied to Null and like the symbiote god and whatnot. I thought, but it didn't really seem. It seemed like the Necro Sword here was more of like a shadow sword, and it let him control shadows and like create creatures from the shadows, which was cool. But it was like so, you know, I was really hoping it was gonna be with like Null, that we were gonna get some sort of tease of the symbiote god and maybe the symbiote home world. Um, Actually, this makes me want to look up because that was one thing I question I had was I did like how in the like city of the gods that they go to, Omnipotent City. I did like how whenever they I did like how when you see some celestials there. I thought that was really cool. I loved that. I got really happy whenever I saw that. 'Cause I was like, because we haven't really seen the only like living moving celestial. Well, we saw some in Eternals, but this was like they were just hanging out in the city, which I thought was really cool. It would have been cool if we saw like if Gore had killed one of those. He killed that giant god, so it's like if he could kill that, he must have been able to kill a celestial. Like, there's no way he didn't kill at least one celestial, you know. Um, but but that was my issue. So like, it was really so going to talking about like the city of the gods or whatever, omnipotent city. In a lot of the marketing and whatnot, it seemed like gods were gonna play a heavy role in this movie, and it seemed like they went to that thing, but like we saw a lot of gods, but like a lot of them weren't interacted with. So apparently, like an actress is credited in the credits in the cast for being Bast. So maybe I'm assuming Bast was there. I guess maybe one of those one of those Egyptian looking gods that were there might have been Bast, because there certainly, as far as I can remember, unless I missed it, there wasn't like just a straight up panther god. Like there wasn't like a god who's just a panther. I was really hoping, because whenever they were like, "Oh, we're going to the city of the gods," because at first in that thing, everybody from the trailers just thought that was because it looked very Greek. People just assumed it was Olympus, and that it was going to be just the Greek gods, because we had Zeus and everything looked very Greek aesthetically. But it was just a city of gods as a whole. Ugh. So like we see the Cronin god, which was pretty cool, and he was sitting on a throne of scissors, like like um like Game of Thrones, which really I got a good laugh out of me because I thought that was pretty funny, a Game of Thrones reference. Um, what was I gonna look up? Fuck. So in this first one, when Dane Whitman is gonna grab that sword, I thought, is it a different sword? Because I thought uh, his ancestor's cursed sword, a Black Knight spinoff. Because I thought because it's a very much definitely an evil sword. The ebony. Okay, never mind. So okay, it's the ebony blade. Ebony. Because I could have swore that was supposed to be the necro sword or something like that. Okay. Necro sword. Because I could have swore the necro sword was tied to Null. Yeah. Yeah, it says, yeah. Symbiote all black, which he wielded in the form of the black, red, or red and black sword made of living abyss. So yeah, so the necro sword originally, uh, no, because this is not a necro sword. Hela does not wield the necro sword. She just, huh? No, she doesn't wield the necro sword in the movie. It's just like her power. Um, But yeah, that was so it seemed like I was really hoping to see the other Egyptian gods, especially because like Moon Knight's already ended. I was really hoping to see like Khonshu and some of the other gods there. Maybe I thought that would have been really cool to me. I would have really liked that, just like as a little thing, because I loved the Moon Knight show. I loved it. Whenever I saw Moon Knight in like the opening thing where like the Marvel thing comes out and you see the stuff from all the different shows, I was like, oh, Marvel. And then I also saw I was like Moon Knight, and I also saw Miss Marvel there, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Um, that's cool that she's there too. Just watched the most recent episode, which I'm gonna talk about later, but it was all right. A little anticlimactic, but whatever. Um, so that was that. The beginning was pretty cool. He at one point he goes and saves Sif because she's about to die, and she's like, "Oh no, 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 I'm okay dying. I'll go to Valhalla." And he's like, "Oh no, to go to Valhalla you have to die in battle. Um, the battle's already over, so you wouldn't go to Valhalla." And she's like, "What?" And it's like, "Huh?" Because then later on, when Jane dies, the battle's already over. When Jane dies, it's over, and then she dies after the battle, but she still goes to Valhalla. So it's kind of like, huh? How does that work? Like, was Thor wrong at the beginning? Did he just not want Sif to die, or what and whatnot? It's battle. And then my found something like, well, maybe because it's like, she was battling cancer. It's like, yeah, but that's not what it means. That's so far off from like how any reference to any sort of referencing, anything with Valhalla work. It's never like that. You die in battle. You have to die in a battle, in a fight. So that was a little weird. Because that was one of the second post credit scene is her arriving in Valhalla, um, and seeing and meeting up with Heimdall, which was it was cool to see Heimdall again. You meet his son in this movie, which was cool. His son's pretty. It's a pretty cool thing, even though I don't think him ever having a son or a wife or anything like that was ever hinted at prior. So that was kind of like, okay, where did this son come from? Because he's never been referenced or hinted at prior. So where the fuck did he come from? That was that was something that I thought about. Um, but overall, good movie. Definitely worth seeing. The first after credit scene was cool because um it gives a casting announcement for Hercules. I didn't recognize the guy, so I don't really um uh I thought Christian Bale, he has one scene where he like is kind of fucking with the kids that he kidnapped, and I thought like his acting was so good there because he was like being like all like this like weird like almost like a Joker ish type of um acting, uh like kind of like Joker esque acting, which I thought was really good. It was really funny because he was like laughing. He was like, "Oh no no," he's like just joking about, and I would have loved to have seen more of that. More of that would have been good because we don't really see a lot of him like that. He's pretty much a lot of the time he's very serious, and he's not like you know him doing his doing very much. Um, uh, Tessa Thompson sitting. Okay, so just Japanese scroll and she are gods. So okay, actually I'm gonna read this now because this is seeming to talk about the other gods. So first photos Panth- Thunder's Pantheon scene featured sitting by Akosia Sabet's character, who is rumored to be playing the human-looking version of Bast in a possible tie-in to Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. We glimpsed the Panther version of Bast in the first Black Panther movie's prologue. Interesting to see someone like Kuku, the African god of war, take on Ares. But more mythologies are the perfect opportunity to revisit some of Moon Knight's threads, if only to bring back the fan favorite hippo, Taweret. Uh, oh wait. Okay, so this doesn't seem to be. Yeah, I don't. Ted Lasso, Brett Goldstein as the MCU's Hercules. I mean, I guess. Uh, he's hit in the chest with his own lightning bolt. Yeah. So that yeah, that's so yeah. So they reveal the casting for Hercules. Don't recognize the guy. Not familiar with Ted Lasso. Second scene is Jane getting to Valhalla. It was just kind of like unnecessary. I was really hoping I was like, okay, there's probably gonna be a second end credit scene. Cause I was like, okay, the first one sets up the sequel. This other one, maybe it's gonna be like unrelated. It could be setting up like something for She-Hulk or um, something. It could be setting up like something for She-Hulk or something for like another character or something. That's what I was hoping for. Um, it is good to see that is gonna come back because they say Thor will return. They don't say in what, obviously, um, but um, so that's gonna be cool to see him come back. You know, good to know that he's not done with the role. Um, but yeah, that's really it, I guess, for Thor. But yeah, I wish they would have done more with the gods. Like, I wish we would have seen more gods. I wish they would have interacted with more gods. I wish, I just would have liked to have spent more time with all that. Um, that was like my same issue with Multiverse of Madness. Like, the whole thing is called Multiverse of Madness. They go through a bunch of universes, but they go basically from the main universe to one other universe, and that's where like the other part of the movie is. Like, you only ever see three different universes in Multiverse of Madness. Like, really, three? Like, we should have seen a lot more. We should have seen a lot more universes. We should have seen something. We should have seen a lot more characters and whatnot. So yeah. So now to go on to the next thing, Miss Marvel, which I can't quite tell. How many episodes of Miss Marvel? So there's gonna be 6 episodes. There's one more episode. Okay, so that's good. Uh, so there's gonna be one more episode. Okay, I was like at the end of this last episode, I was like, that can't be the end because that just seems very weird place to end it. Like the main villain gets to like their plan and then just immediately, because of a couple words, changes her mind and whatnot. And it's just like, what? How the fuck? Why? Like, it just didn't make any sense. Now, Kamran has powers now somehow. Without needing a bangle, she has like that scarf, and then she also has her her scarf. She's got her thing. She just doesn't have her suit yet, but she's gonna have to get it in the next episode because she hasn't had classic iconic her classic iconic suit yet. So it has to happen in the next episode. If there's only one episode left. This dude I thought was pretty cool. I'm not familiar with him from the comics, but I thought he was pretty cool. Cause I'm not super familiar with Miss Marvel's comics, but I thought that that was pretty cool. Um, I thought he was a pretty cool character. Like I was talking with somebody on TikTok. I don't know why it autofills to Hassan fucking shitbags
It's
stuff.
time for cookies and crime. Imagine moving into your dream home only for it to become your worst nightmare. That's what happened to this young couple. This is the story of Janice Rudder and Jerry Rice. Janice and Jerry were looking for their dream home to raise their family in. Janice is a microbiologist at a children's hospital, and Jerry was a former competitive swimmer who now teaches special education classes for kids with autism. In fall of 2011, the young couple found their dream home in a picturesque cul-de-sac in upscale Carmel Valley of San Diego. But within the first month after moving in, a note arrived saying someone was willing to buy the house from them for up to $100,000 above what they paid for. They ignored it, but then a stream of interested buyers.
Okay. Okay, we're just gonna stop that. Where is he? Where is he? Comments specifically. Yeah, this guy. Um, I hate how it doesn't pull up straight to what I'm trying to. Oh, whoops! I trust no one can see. Um, where is it? But whatever. I made some comment because some people were saying like that. Of course, it's about like. Of course, people were saying that like people don't like Miss Marvel because it's of course because it's about race because they don't like you know. So something like that. And so I said I like it. This guy said I like it as the greatest show, but it's good. And I was like, um, I said like the last episode, which at the time was the one before the one that I think that just came out, and I was like the last episode before this one has like been like the best one so far because it was like it was really cool seeing like this whole underground thing, and it's just like she's actually, and it's just like you're finding more about how her powers work and the whole like background of like her power system and whatnot that how they're changing it. And the guy said he said yeah, definitely agree. I also liked it the most. And then I said the less school related the plot gets, the better the show. The the less school the I said like the less school related the plot gets, the better the show becomes because like this whole all the school related shit was just super fucking cringy. It was all cringy writing. The whole like basically trying to make it about like oh these people are trying to oh because she's a Muslim this blah, 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 racism all that. It's like discrimination against women in Muslim religion blah blah blah. Like it was so it was so it was so like just cringy and so like heavy handed. Like you just feel it. So it's like the less related to school the plot has gotten, the better the show has gotten. To me, it's whenever it's become more about her and like the actual like stakes of the story, which has something to do with her with school. It's gotten better. Um, it's it's pretty good. You know, this last episode was pretty good. I think the last episode before this most recent one was still a little better. So, so yeah, that was that. Um, it's all right. I think it could be better in a lot of ways. I think just like as long as it's not about the school shit and the heavy-handed Muslim stuff or Pakistani stuff, like as long as like that heavy-handed shit was um it was very much it's very much gotten better after all that. Whenever all that's stopped. So yeah. Yeah, none of these are the actual episodes because episode 5 is called like something red or whatever. So none of that's the actual episodes, but that's cool. Nice try. What's the next topic? Oh, the boys, the boys, the boys, the boys. Season 3. Just watched the last episode. Um, was really hoping that like I was I don't know. I thought that they were gonna kill Homelander, and then something was gonna happen where Soldier Boy, because since he knows that Ryan is the son of Homelander, who Homelander is his son, so it's his grandson. I thought because he says early right at before like the big fight really starts, basically talks about how he's disappointed. He's sad that he wasn't able to raise Soldier Boy, so that way, or he wasn't able to raise Homelander like a father, so that way he wouldn't be such an attention hungry pussy, as he I think pretty much, which is pretty much how he put it. So I thought that kill Homelander, Soldier Boy. Well, no, because he's still very much Soldier Boy is still a bunch of, like in a blue blooded or red blooded American. So like he very much would want what's best for America, I guess. So he wouldn't have kidnapped Ryan and like or maybe tried to make him better, but then like seeing his dad get killed, he'd become evil, I guess. It seems like Ryan is now more on Homelander's side, all because of how Butcher treated him earlier on in the season. Butcher's only got 12 to 18 months to live, so I guess maybe next season could be the last one, possibly. Um, it sucks that there's no way for I don't know. It's very interesting that because like at the end of at the end of the comic, like all of the boys die except for Huey. I'm pretty sure Huey's the only one left alive. Like I'm pretty sure Butcher, MM, the female, and Frenchie are all killed some way or another. Huey's the only one left alive. I'm pretty sure by the end of the comics. So if season 4 is gonna be the last season, that means Homelander has to die, which I don't know how they're gonna do that because in the comics, um, Black Noir was a clone of Homelander that they fight and kill each other, sorta, pretty much. I think something like that. Um, yeah. Um, but I liked it. I thought the ending was, it was all right. Of course, Soldier Boy doesn't die. Maeve doesn't die. Um, I don't really see how because he exploded pretty high up, which then fried her powers, and then they would have had to have kept falling. So I don't see how she would have lived through that. I feel like she still would have died from the fall. Soldier Boy's back on ice, and I don't see anybody waking him up from that again. Hopefully, Ryan's with Homelander. Homelander literally just fucking kills a dude right out in public, and people cheer for him. Very interesting to see where this is gonna go. Starlight's one of the boys. Uh, I'm I'm excited. Hopefully, it doesn't take so fucking long to get the next season, because I'm very excited for that. Um, and for the final topic, to get on to the final topic, which is supposed to be manga, um, I just got back today from my fiance's. I've been out there all week. I did a good bit of reading on some manga, and I think it'd be good to talk about what I've been reading. I read the first two volumes of One Punch Man. I've already seen like the whole first season, so like everything that I read is all stuff that I'm already familiar with. But it's cool to read. It's cool to read. The art's great. It's awesome. Um, Other than that, I read volume 3 of Spy Family. I'm really liking that series. I'm definitely gonna get some more next time I go to Barnes and Noble. I finished collecting all of Chainsaw Man. So then I finally started reading past volume 2 because that's all I had read so far was volume 2. I read volumes 3, 4, 5, and 6. Uh, so I read 4 volumes. So I've got 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 left to read. Um, I'm really liking the story. I thought at the beginning it was kind of like you're kind of led to believe at the beginning that like Dingy is the um I felt that like at the beginning of the series you're kind of led to believe that Dingy is like the first of his kind, of like someone who is like completely a person who's like completely fused, I guess you could say, with a devil, and like has like their powers but they're still technically a human. I thought that he was like the first of his kind, but it seems to not be that way cuz he fights the uh samurai the samurai sword. Oh, Katana Man. So he's the Katana Devil. What I thought was very weird. It's like, why is he specifically a Katana Devil? Why wouldn't like I don't? I feel like people aren't that. And he seemed to be almost stronger. He was like faster, more powerful than Dingy at the beginning. See, but here she's called the Sword Demon. It's like because just being just a Sword Demon makes a little bit more sense. But I feel like the most sense would be for it to be like the blade, like a blade demon, because it's like how many people currently are afraid of swords? Like, yeah, back in like feudal Japan or like in like the medieval times, people would have been terrified of swords because everybody was getting killed by swords and like crossbows and shit, and bow and arrows. So like a bow and arrow devil or a crossbow devil or a sword devil would be super strong. That's like the main ways to kill people. So it was like, why is that so strong? And then that other person who seemed to be like I'm guessing the snake devil. So she was the snake devil. Um, eh, not the most interesting to me, at least. Uh, the I'm super curious about what devils Makima, whatever. I'm really curious to see what devil is she partnered with? What devil does she have a contact with? It seems to be some sort of like gravity devil. Um, because she was like just doing this, and then like all those people, as soon as she had someone else say their name, they would just compress and just flatten and just bleh. So that's interesting. Um, so that was cool. The type Chainsaw Man, the Typhoon Devil was interesting for a little bit until I think it's dead. Um, that was interesting. But then there was the Bomb Devil. Um, who I really like the design of. She's got like all these like I'm assuming are like fuse wires, and like I was assuming that these were uh like explosive sticks of like explosives is what I assumed. I really like that statue. I kind of want the statue. Um, uh, so I thought she was pretty interesting because I was like I honestly did not see it coming that she was a I didn't know what to expect because it was because clearly she was someone strong because like that the typhoon devil when the guy that he was with tried to attack her and then she killed him. The typhoon devil was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Lady Reese. Uh, I'll fuck off." Pretty much. That was interesting. Um, I think she's alive. I don't. I've already kind of forgotten. I think she's alive. Um, her powers are very cool. How she can just be like boom and just like throw whatever, and like when she does the thing to activate her devil form, she can throw her head away and explode it like a bomb, and then do whatever. Um, which I thought was interesting. Um, that was really cool. Uh, Beam, who's the shark fiend. He's pretty cool. I did like him. I like how he seems to know about the Chainsaw Devil and know that the Chainsaw Devil is very strong. Um, Very weird. Pretty cool. The fact that he can like swim in any surface, I think that's really clever. I really like that. Um, what's his name is now is now contracted with the future devil, which is pretty cool. He can see a slight little bit into the future. Um, he has what was it like 2 years left to live. He has 2 years left to live, minus two, so he's got 12 like uh 22 months now because he touched the angel devil, which is funny that there's an angel devil who doesn't hate humans or nothing like that, doesn't like to fight, he just wants to die. But whenever he touches people skin to skin, he saps their life from them and adds it to his own, it seems. So he will just live on for who knows how long. um Overall, I'm really liking the story. I'm excited to keep going, see where it gets to. uh um Wait, what? Oh, wait, Spy. So Chainsaw Man. Oh. So these are the people who are going to be. So these are the people who are going to be working on, who are working on the Chainsaw. Well, we already knew Chainsaw Man. Um, Voice actor. So this woman's going to be. So I kind of want to look up these people and see Natalie Van Sistine. Natalie Van Sistine. See if I recognize any of her voices, anything she's been in, because I don't recognize her face or name. Avengers Academy. She's going to be your Forger. Is there like a trailer? If they've already announced it, I would imagine that they've already done some stuff. So it's okay. So okay. Uh, so she's gonna be Yor, and this woman's going to be Anya. So I'm more worried about. That's the one thing. So Megan. Oh, shipment. I'm more worried about how she's going to do. I'm more worried about the Anya voice. I'm more I'm more worried about Anya voice.
Hey everyone, this is May. We're here at Thy GeekdomCon 2018 with Megan Shipman, best known for Citrus and New. Everything's been great. Nice. Now,
other than Megan Shipman.
Watching experience for anyone watching.
I don't know. Because I feel like yours voice. There's a wide range of voices of how her voice could be in English that I would be like, okay, that's yeah, that's cool. Anya, I just, especially after hearing the Japanese one, is like it has to be very good. Like I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I haven't looked it up. Spy Family anime cast. Like I wouldn't be surprised if the little girl, if she actually was voiced by a child. Atsumi Tenazaki. This person is been voicing since 2011. Okay. So she's probably not an actual child. So I hope the voice is good. I hope the Anya voice is good. I can be more forgiving with the Your voice. I just really hope that Anya's voice is good. In a diving accident. But so yeah, I guess that's really it. I mean, we've been going on for not even an hour. Jesus, it felt like it's been at least an hour or two. Um, I think I'm good with where we're at now. I think call it there. Call it there and just kind of uh call it there and call it for today, I guess. So I guess see you guys